Yeah. Oh. I know them niggas looking so important on the show now. Waiting on you know what comes and goes. Hey, bottle, I put it in work. No, this shit ain't never been games. Girl, I used to think about you heavy. Now, I don't look at you the same. Hey, I flip my wrist like you know me. Ma, look what you son to became. Oh, you acted like you ain't know me when I was out screaming your name. Boy, a nigga hit a wave.
Every rose has its thorn.
Sting.
That's not even sting, it's poison!
Get it together.
Same difference.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Lionhead Fitness here. So, as you can see, I'm surrounded by some big-ass guys. One of the reasons being, this is pretty much a intro to the gym video for you guys. So, we're going to be talking about everything from safety, injury prevention, the type of workout you should be doing depending on the type of body style that you want, as well as, you know, just some of the basic things like supplements. Because everyone thinks that supplements are everything in the gym. No, they're fucking not. So, we've got my buddy here, Zach, Mr. Old Town Strong on Instagram. This is the strong man of the group. We've got Josh, of course. You've seen him on previous videos. J Monstar. And then we've got the muscle hamster himself, Riley Reeves. If you guys don't know Riley, which you don't, can I say it?
Yeah, you can say it.
Can I say it?
You can say it.
Riley is the first man in Utah to hit a 2,000-pound total. So by
2011,
far,
2016.
2011.
2011.
Raw.
2,011
Classic.
pounds
Yeah.
raw.
Classic.
775, 501.
Triple sevens.
Oh, 777, 501.
501, and then 733. Had 750 to
750. You had
750
it.
to lockout, and then my callus.
Fucking calluses.
Yeah, so.
So, I am here
You
with
know
some of
what
the strongest guys in Utah, pretty much, basically what it boils down to. So, first and foremost, we know why you got into powerlifting. Why'd you get into strongman?
So, it all kind of started back in football, well, in high school. So, I started, kind of doing football, doing sports. Wasn't really athletic as a younger kid and stuff like that and
I
whatnot.
don't know how that be.
Yeah. So, just kind of like that, just kind of coasting, trying to figure your stuff out and whatnot. And got into, once high school rolled around, got into football, and I was like, okay, this is pretty fun. And then, due to just the coaches and whatnot, I just kind of lost just complete interest in it. And I saw that I was, like one of the strongest kids on the team in terms of just in the weight room and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I could, not have fun doing this, or I could pursue this and see what I can make out of it. And so that's where I just, for the rest of my high school, I just lifted weights and just tried to get as strong as possible and just pursued doing that. And I made little mini goals myself throughout high school. By my senior year, I was the strongest kid in my whole school. Deadlifted 500 pounds, the only one who could pull that much. Squat was 405, and then bench was like 275. But there were kids in there who did, they were good for, one kid had a 315 bench, one had like a 500-pound squat, but they wasn't really like, similar in
There
strength.
was no complete package going on.
Yeah, it was one was better at one thing and then
Yeah.
was severely lacking in another.
And where I came in, I was kind of just really well-rounded, and that's why I was, the strongest in the school. And then just kind of did a whole bunch of research and whatnot. Just started looking into strongman, following different people on YouTube and watching what they do, and then kind of applying that to my training. And then after high school, didn't really know what to do, so that's where I found Absolute Power, and then started doing that. Kind of got into a little bit more, and then just it was earlier this year in April was my first strongman competition.
Pick on.
Yep, placed 6th in that overall in my division, which were competing against 12 other guys, so I was pretty happy.
You beat
about
half
that.
of them.
Yeah. for not knowing a lot and just kind of going in blind, pretty much.
Okay.
First one usually is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as always.
It's like a figuring out, like, okay, this is how it's run. All right, I'll be ready
Next
the
time.
next time.
And now I know. Now that I'm ready to just go kick some more ass next year.
So there you go. We've got strong man,
Hell yeah.
and we've got the strongest man in Utah by far, Riley Reeves. What got you into powerlifting?
Yeah. So, I mean, straight up, football in high school. Went through freshman year, and I was able to bench like 200 pounds my freshman year. Squatted like
Hell yeah.
3 something, and we never maxed out on dead, so I didn't know what my dead was. Except for one day, we're like just dicking around. I'm like, all right, dude, let's try it. Let's slap on 4 wheels. I did that my freshman year, and then I went on to progress to become the first kid at Box Elder to squat 600 pounds in high school my senior year. So my squat was like 6, my bench was like 330, 340, and then my deadlift was at like 550. I've always struggled with deadlift because of my grip and whatnot. And then after that, went to college and kind of stopped really with the heavy lifting. We focused mainly on football lifts, you know, hang clean, front squats, a lot of agility work.
Hey, fuck front squats.
Yeah, fuck front squats. But hey, I did it. Got faster, you know. I think that's the point of all that
Yeah, I
training.
like front squats. Front squats are fun.
Yeah. Then came back after I tore my lateral meniscus. Right, front squats.
Fuck front squats.
They're the best.
They're not.
Well, for quad development, they are. But anyway, came back from played a whole season for football my sophomore year with a torn lateral meniscus. Came back, got that repaired, and started powerlifting after that because, like me and you were talking about last night, got to keep that competitive bug going.
Yeah.
Straight, like I couldn't just sit around and do nothing, so started training harder, getting my technique down, asking guys around. And finally, my first meet was FitCon 4 years ago. Where was it? 5? 4. It was, 4 years ago. And went in and I wanted to squatted 705, benched 407, and then pulled like 630 barely.
Somewhere around there.
And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool.
Deadlift's come a long ass way.
God, yeah, you fucking right. God, it was like when I could barely get 600 for a dub. And then like earlier this year, 705 opener.
And it moved. It fucking
It
moved.
I mean, I just stayed with it and just kept progressing. Got under some right coaching, thanks to Josh over here. And that's where I'm at now.
I'm not his coach.
No, he's not my coach.
I'm not his
no.
coach.
Hey, shout out
I
to
can't
Jeremy
take
Clifford.
credit for that. Yeah,
Jeremy
definitely.
Clifford,
Shout
probably
out
the
to
best
Clifford.
strength coach in Utah.
Yep.
There you go.
Probably.
He is the best strength coach in
I
Utah.
agree.
Every one of his athletes always kill it. So
Yeah, his workouts, as you guys saw, the squatting with the bands, that's one of his workouts that I did with Josh over here. Dear God.
That was actually just me.
Stop.
That was just me.
That wasn't Jeremy's?
No,
Nope.
dude, he's
That's
been
just
doing
me.
his own programming
Doing
for
my
a
own
while
programming.
now.
Since we found out that Angela was pregnant, I've just been writing my own stuff.
Yeah,
Everything you've seen me do, everything you've done with me, that's me.
Yeah, every crazy thing, that's straight up this guy.
Yeah.
The speed bench with the bow bar to get real deep and work on pecs, him.
Fucking mad scientists, all of you. Alright, so first and foremost, when you're in the gym, one of the biggest things that you're going to have to learn outside of the gym rules is going to be gym safety. Gym safety is pretty much what's going to keep you going for as long as possible, prevent injuries, make sure that you as well as everyone around you is safe. So gym safety is probably one of the biggest things possible. So when it comes to gym safety, there's the gym safety and then there's your safety. So your personal safety may not be the same as the gym safety because you may know something that some of the other people in the gym don't know. For example, there are certain lifts that you can possibly do that someone else can't do. Now when it comes to these lifts, your advice and the way that you do these things are extremely sensitive. There's a very thin line that you can't cross when it comes to giving advice or receiving advice from people who have done this longer than you. For example, whenever I started going to the gym, which was probably about November of last year was when I started going to Absolute Power, these two fuckers over here intimidated the shit out of me. I was scared shitless to talk to them, in all honesty. Like, they terrified the shit out of me.
Yeah, Josh is pretty scary.
You're the most approachable man in Utah.
It's this guy right here. Josh just likes getting amped up.
So, one of the main things that they taught me was you can't go into a gym scared. You go into a gym scared, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt someone else. Like, they pretty much gave me tons of fucking advice that I then passed on to other people as they asked me questions. And, of course, I don't take credit for it. I didn't know this shit before I started. They told me. Zach tells me tons of shit all the time. So, first and foremost, know your body's safety. Know what your body's able to do. If you don't know, then the next subject is where you're going to need to listen. Because that's where Josh is going to take over. Because we're going to be talking about injury prevention and injury recovery.
Because I'm injured all the fucking time.
All the fucking
Hey,
time.
one thing about safety, being safe, is don't go in an ego lift.
God,
Yeah.
Don't come in and try to earn your stripes by coming in and injuring yourself, and then you're out for 3 weeks.
I think there is kind of a topic
Knocks
there a
out
little bit.
every day.
Yeah.
Ego lifting.
Well, like, not so much ego lifting, like being safe, like in the gym. Like, I remember Dave Tate wrote an article about talking to your spotters, where, like, you get something like happen, like everyone's seen it, that what happened to Chris Duffin.
Yep.
Where they pull the mono, he squats it for a single, they put the mono back, and he's like, what the fuck? So he takes the tension off, and then he can't get it back in the rack, and then the plates go fucking flipping, and the bar goes flying everywhere. Like,
yeah.
tell them it's for a double, it's for a triple.
Yeah,
Like,
always,
real quick,
yeah,
like,
let them know.
and be like, hey, this is pretty heavy for me. Will you spot me? I'm going for a double. Like, like, talk to your spotters is basically what that whole.
And don't go in, if you know you're a 300-pound squatter, and you've got 350 pounds on the bar, 400 pounds on the bar, you've never touched that weight before. You don't think you can do it by yourself. Ask somebody for goddamn help.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people bottom out on fucking lifts that they're going and they're trying to do a PR, but they're doing it by themselves.
Or cut it high and think it's good.
Yeah.
Lift smart.
Fucking get the goddamn technique down first. Don't be quarter squatting. Don't be hitching deadlifts.
Mile High Club.
Don't be fucking shooting your ass clear to the sky when you bench either. God damn. That's straight up high school shit. Right there.
Yeah, don't do that.
Just you're not helping anything. You're making it like we're talking about safety here. That's bringing the bar this way. It's not bringing it up. It's bringing it this way.
You don't want to drink out of it? Like,
No, you don't.
want.
I mean, you could go to the dentist and get all your teeth replaced if you do that.
I mean, I want veneers anyway, right?
Josh comes around the corner with this crystal smile. He's like, hey, guys.
It wouldn't be Chris. It'd be straight gold.
No, dude, I'd be
I
going.
can see it.
I'd be going for the George Washington.
The wood,
Wooden
cherry
teeth.
wood. Gotta replace those bitches because they get rotten.
Ah, that's fine. I'll replace them every so often. That's fine by me, man. I don't give a shit.
Alright,
Anyway, hijack that conversation.
quick.
Well, fuck yeah, it'd be said. I mean,
I feel like it did.
if they don't know,
You don't know, you never know.
like,
Yeah.
and all right, Josh, go ahead with the injury before I start ranting again.
So, injury is probably one of the biggest things for any athlete. You'll see some of the best athletes injured, and they're out for 6-7 games. NFL, you're out for half the season, depending on the injury. Injury, it's a reality. It fucking happens.
It's not if, it's when.
Exactly. It
Yeah,
happens.
especially when you push yourself and you're like, I felt something in whatever, like a little twinge or something, and then you kind of go, I think it was nothing, and then like a couple weeks later, you're like, I felt that same one again, and then it happens more on the reg. Then you should probably go check it out. But
So, injury prevention is quite simple. Do your warm-ups, do your stretches. Josh
actually,
is...
do the fucking warm-ups,
Actually do your warm-ups. That's probably one of the biggest things that everyone here has a problem with, is doing the fucking warm-ups. We're former football players and just all around we're guys. We don't fucking warm up. We go in there and get our shit done. That's probably one of the biggest things that goes wrong. I don't like to warm up. I don't do the stretches. I don't roll myself out like I'm supposed to. I don't do the band work like I'm supposed to.
You once you get to a certain way, doing this for a while. It's like a warm up is a necessity. Because
Yeah, if you're gonna spend 2 hours at the gym, you can take 10 minutes before to prime your body for that.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be like a straight up half hour fucking.
You can do 3 sets of 20, like the winning warm up. Like you can do 3 sets of 20 inside 10 minutes, like in under 10 minutes.
Easy.
And
You
it
could probably
and
do
it
in
primes your heart
5.
rate for what you're about to do. And on top of that, you build work capacity over an extended period of time. Like if you can't take 10 minutes for 2 hours, you probably shouldn't be fucking doing this.
Yeah, especially if you're lifting heavy week to week.
Yeah.
No fucking way, man.
No.
I mean, you got to make sure your joints, your muscles, your tendons, you just got to make sure everything is feeling pretty good. You're never 100%.
Ever.
Straight up. No, I've been playing sports my whole life. Been lifting here for probably like 6 years now. No, you're never 100%.
Ever. Not ever.
You can get as close as you can to that 100%, but it's never 100%.
2 weeks out is the closest you'll feel to 100%, or a week out.
I think a week out when you
I'd say week out, yeah, because the week out you're doing deload, and then the week up you're not fucking
Yeah.
touching anything. else.
Except the stress.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Except
the-
the fucking
oh.
stress.
yeah, you can't doubt that. There's no fucking way, man.
So injury prevention.
Yeah,
Number one.
There you go, buddy.
I think the most I think the most important thing is probably your warm-ups to start, honestly. Like when people warm up, they're like, well, I don't know what to do, so they just get on a foam roller and they flop around for 5 minutes and then go do whatever the fuck it is that they're gonna do. Like they think soft tissue manipulation is the only way to warm up, like when reality, like Matt Wenning has a whole YouTube series about like the Wenning warm-up and how he went from like a really soft geared like 20 23 something to a really good raw 21 37 21 40 something. And it's because he took the time to prime his body, and he's crazy. He does 4x25. So if you're training lower, let's say you're training lower, he'll pick 3 things that he sucks at. If you've got weak glutes and weak hamstrings, he'll do reverse hypers, belt squats,
Yep.
and then hamstring curls. Like you pick 3 movements, 4 sets, 25 reps, no rest. You get it done in under 15 minutes before you touch a barbell.
Yeah, this is before your actual main work. This is just your warm up.
4x25. Like let that sink in for a minute. Like for some people, that's a whole workout.
Yeah.
For people, like for new people or for people that don't know, that's a whole workout before you even touch the barbell. But what he says is that he creates to bringing your general preparedness level of fitness up and bringing the resilience of your body up, like, and priming your body for those heavy movements. So that'd be my absolute go-to. The first thing that you should be doing is warming up. Like I said, if you can't take 10 minutes for 2 hours, you shouldn't be fucking doing it. Like that's the bottom line. It's like you just have to commit to some things, and longevity is one of them. And I think in order to do that, I think you have to warm up.
Yeah.
Dude, straight up, you can't. Like, and it's the thing is like if you're a new person to the gym, don't go in there and kind of just like kind of mosey around and be like, oh, well, I guess I'll do this today, and then like just go half-ass. Like if you actually want to get stronger and get better, you go and ask the guys at the gym.
Yeah.
You go ask people who are doing some crazy shit that you've never seen before, and you go, hey man, what do those do? What does adding bands to what your main lift do? What does adding chains do? What does the box do? What does this movement do? What does that movement do? And actually, when you start warming up, ask them, hey, I want to hit bench today. What's a good warm up for that? And then you ask them about that. Like if you don't know,
Ask.
yeah, ask. Because you can't sit there and be like, well, I've been coming to the gym for like 3 weeks, and
I haven't seen any results.
yeah, I haven't seen any results, and I'm just sore as
I
shit.
can't bench 300 yet. What the hell? I've
Yeah.
been here for 3 weeks.
Yeah, you gotta just go in and ask. Like
Yeah.
you could have been like the strongest guy at your high school. You could have been the strongest guy in your like town or whatever, you know. And then you come to a gym,
A real gym.
like a powerlifting gym, and you realize, what the fuck's going on? These guys are actually super strong.
Yeah.
And you're like, leave your ego at the door,
Mhm.
because one, we're not getting paid for this shit. We are going in there because we want to do this. Like that's the straight up truth. Like, and people take it seriously.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a choice, not a chore.
Like, go in there, learn as much as you can, and have fun.
At the end of the day, you're doing this much like why most people
Some people golf.
Yeah, some people golf. Some
like
people get
whistling.
And it's
pointers on golf. Some
fucking
people
psychotic,
shoot.
right? Like it
Some
doesn't make
people
sense.
ride
but-
bikes.
Yeah.
You know, it's a way. It's your therapist. So if going to the gym doesn't make you feel better at the end of the day, or help you work through your issues, or help you cope with something before you can work through it, you know, there's no reason for you to really be in there. I use the gym as my stress relief. I'll go in there at the end of the day, no matter what kind of day I've had at work. I could be talking with the most piss poor, sorry ass, fucking just pain in the ass people on the phones all day. I'll go in the gym and I'll just throw the weight around like, just because I have all this frustration and everything built in. But at the same time, you have to understand you can't go in there and you can't ego lift. Ego lifting is the fastest way to hurt yourself.
Hands down.
Period.
true.
You can't go in there and not have everything done properly and expect you're going to outlift someone else. So if I go in there and I see Josh and Riley in there and they're ego lifting, or they're lifting heavy, period, I'm not going to go over there and fucking ego lift and try to snatch up 700 pounds on a deadlift without a fucking warm-up. That's honestly the stupidest thing that you can possibly do.
I mean, a lot of guys, it happens in every gym.
Yeah.
They try to have a pissing contest with, like, if you're in there, and I've had this happen to me plenty of times, so I'll go and it'll just be like my local gym,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be like benching, and some guy's watching me. He's like, all right, and then he gets on the bench for some reason, and I just keep, doing my warm-ups,
Mhm.
and he's like, oh, never mind, and then he'll come and talk to me. But at first he's like, I'm going to outbench this guy because he's bigger than me, or I'm going to do this because he's doing, I don't know, like, there's some days where, like, if me and Josh are doing something, it's happened more than once. We look over and someone's trying to mimic us,
Yeah.
and they get hurt doing it, or they,
Doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel right. I don't understand why I'm doing it. Like, when in reality you started walking down that road without asking any questions. Like,
yeah.
do you even know how to set up accommodating resistance? Like, there's a whole nother, like, you'll get to a point where there's a whole nother level with this of things that, because, like, it's honestly, like, you don't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
So, like,
Straight
if
up.
you don't know that there's other ways to warm up besides flopping around on a foam roller for 15 minutes, then, like, you don't know, which is fine, but, like, ask questions is, what Riley is saying, and it kind of trickles into the next point, which is, like, prevention. Like, how do you prevent injuries? Like, what's the best way to do that? And I think probably for most people, it's usually just the answer of get stronger. For most people, for young people, it's pretty much get stronger. For athletes who are seasoned, it gets
Yeah.
much more specific than that.
Yeah.
Like, it gets to be like, okay, where do you miss on lifts? Or after this session, this has hurt me for 2 weeks consistently. After I squat, like, my hips are garbage. And after I deadlift, my hips are garbage. Okay, well, you need to look up some lower back protocols and look up Donnie Thompson and, like, so, like,
Hip mobility. You gotta
exactly.
look up, and you just, nobody's going to know your body more than you do.
Exactly.
And so, like, if you go in with the same group of guys, and yet, like, you're going in, and it's usually a good time. Like, you say you're going, like, at a deadlift, like having a little deadlift party going on, You go in.
Did you just say deadlift party?
You ever had a deadlift party?
we need to do that.
We did a change.
You have to edit that part.
Yeah, we gotta fucking. Anyway,
You don't. There's footage of that. It's fine.
you go in and your back, like, just like, let's say, like, your lower back or your hamstrings are a little tender from squats or just something at work or something at home that you were doing, like, extra stuff.
Yeah.
And it comes to the point where you have to man up and say, hey man, I'm going to go a little bit lighter today, even though you guys are basically, like, hitting doubles, singles, or whatever at your, like, 90%.
Yeah.
You got to man up and say, no, my body's not feeling right. And if they give you shit for it, you can just go tell them.
Yeah, it's not
fuck
West
off.
Side. It's not like, take another one. Like, shit hurts and you're like, take another one. And someone's like, fucking load it up. It's not the way we perform. It's not the way we do things. And, like, Riley about saying, like, knowing your own body more than anyone else. Like, injury prevention is listening to your body.
Yeah.
That's
Listening
like the
to your
first
body.
sign
Yep.
is if, like, I got news for you. After tearing a pec, like, if I get under a bench and I take it down and it hurts the whole fucking time, I got news for you. I'm either not warmed up enough and I'm not ready. I need to temper my pec, or I'm probably not going to bench that day.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah,
or change it to a floor press or a pin press, where there's less injury, so I can still get some work in, but where there's less injury, where there's less likelihood of injury on that plane of motion.
Yeah, and Josh has done that. I mean, I've done that multiple times too with working out with Josh.
Mhm.
I'm like, hey man, shit ain't feeling right today.
Right.
I can't do what we were planning on doing.
So I have to go to a box, or
Yeah,
I have to do pin presses.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like, and we don't care. It's not like, oh, you bitch, this is all you're doing is being a fucking pussy. No, dude, you listen. Like if you're a training partner
Yeah.
and you've been training with each other for like a while now, you know each other. You know when shit feels good, and you know when shit's going south.
yep.
Right.
And you gotta just be like, okay, how about we tone it down a little bit today?
Yeah.
Because my bicep tendon's straining right now when I come out with the bench, or my quads are cramping, or whatever. Just you could tone it back, and if your training partner calls you anything but like just saying like,
But
all right,
smart for listening to your body,
Yeah.
then you need a new training
you
partner.
need a
Yeah.
training partner.
Yeah. Facts. That was kind of like the reason why I didn't squat last Monday. I ended up going in on Tuesday and squatting because I had that pinch in my knee.
And
You
it
guys
worked
know-
out.
Yeah,
didn't it?
and it worked out just fine. So, knowing your body is half of working out.
Yeah, you didn't lose 100 pounds on your total because you didn't go out and squat on Monday instead of Tuesday, huh?
Exactly.
It's like, do you get extra lights on the platform because you squatted on a Monday instead of a Tuesday? I don't
You don't.
fucking think so.
Yeah, you gotta-
International
Nope.
Chest Day is not Monday up here. Thank you.
Nah, dude, that's Tuesday squat day, boys.
Heavy upper. Always
So,
heavy upper.
Basically, so what both of these go into, as you hear, we pretty much have touched on working out every single point in any of these topics. So that's pretty much what the next one's going to be, your workout. When you're starting in the gym, what's the best way to start? If there is a best way, what advice do you have for anyone who wants to get back in the gym? You know,
Oh,
how
we-
often do they work out?
So we talking somebody who's getting back into it, or somebody who's like, hey man, I've lifted a little bit in high school, like during like the strength and conditioning classes, wasn't really a part of like the sports team or whatever. And they're like, I want to get back in. I want to get into lifting because I've been
Like,
watching
yeah.
whatever. Or are you talking about like the athletes? They're like, hey man, I haven't worked out for a year since my football, basketball, whatever sport days were over. Can I jump in or whatever? Are you talking?
Let's start with
Talking
let's
about
start
the-
with fresh, green,
Fresh?
completely green, new gills. You know, brand new to it.
Get a coach.
I'd say get a coach, or like I said, like ask questions, ask around. And usually the guys that have been there for a while, they're like, hey man, I ran this program this time, I ran this program this time, and this is my results that I got from this. And they'll go, oh okay, and they're like, and you go, hey yeah, just look up like 531, the cube method, jug life, like just like shit like that.
I say get a coach because all of those things come with a good coach, right? Like, and I wish like there was like a Carfax list for Instagram coaches. If you could- well, like for like new people in general, whether it's strength sports or not, my immediate go-to is get a coach, because when you most of like getting on a program or anything like that comes with like a coach, a good coach, and so like immediately like if they're a good coach, you can DM them and then be like, what's your credentials? You know, like, and they're gonna be like, oh, well, I've been an athlete for 20 years. I've written this method, or like, I'm not certified through the NSCA or anything like that. I've just been powerlifting for X amount of years. I know what I'm doing. Like, those kinds of people would DM me versus people like
Oh yeah, like
that guy.
they go and they're like, you're like, what's your credentials? Instead of like saying I'm certified in this way, because there's like a bunch of new certifications for.
The
There's like
NSCA,
7 certifications as far
NASM. You
as
can
personal
get
training.
you can
Yeah.
get certified for rock tape now. Like,
Yeah, so it's like you get certified for a bunch of different things, and if you DM like a coach, because I mean, let's face it here, like they're everywhere. Like whether it's someone that's like a bodybuilder that's like, I just barely got my pro card, DM me for programs or something, or like I had a decent powerlifting meet, DM me for programs, where it's like I
you
got.
made a post about that the other day.
I did, yeah.
500 for supplementation.
And it's just like, and you say, you go over to these guys and say, hey, what's your like credentials? I'm pretty interested in you coaching me because I like the way whether you look, how you work out, whatever. And they go, well, look at this guy, look at that girl. You know what she's done? It's like, well, that's cool, but what can you give to me?
Right.
You know, and there's plenty of coaches out there that'll be like, oh, this is the best plan for you, whatever, and they take somebody's already programming online that's free to get, they slap it, put your name on it, change like the percentages up like slightly, and then give it to you and be like, okay, that's your first 8 weeks.
That's happened to you with a quote credible coach before.
Yeah, straight up. So
Yep.
I know what it's like. It's like, seriously, just cut and paste. Here you go. And luckily, I was really good friends with one of the other athletes that this coach was under, and he's like, hey man,
What are your programs?
he's like, what's your program look like? Because you've been lifting the same type of stuff I have. Is it this? No shit, dude.
Copy paste.
Copy paste. And I looked at my other one. I was like, it's the same one. You bet your ass I dropped my coach like that.
And I'll slap their name on the program just to make it official.
Yeah.
That it's my original program.
Dude, don't.
Coaches out here be wilding out. Like, it's straight up the Wild West right now. Like, in a day where like everyone wants to be an entrepreneur and everyone wants to have their own startup company, like fitness stuff has gotten absolutely 110% out of control.
Yeah.
Like, someone needs to regulate that shit, including the supplement industry, because it's fucking ridiculous.
It's kind of getting watered down, really, because like
Yeah.
everything's the same, man. There's nothing new and initiative coming out, like when Mark Bell created the slingshot, and everyone's like, the slingshot, and then it just blew their minds.
And then everyone copied that, and then, you know, like, companies just started popping up everywhere, like,
Yeah.
before you know it.
Like, you gotta either find something that's totally original in the fitness, you know, if you want to go into that direction, which is extremely hard, because there's like, I guarantee you, like, this is my idea. You fucking type it in. Oh shit. Yeah, it's like I want to make this supplement. Oh, there's already 15 other
Yep.
other brands like this, and there's like 3 top brands in the nation that make it. So, and then you have to figure out from there if you want to do that. But getting into supplements, straight up, man, like
Garbage.
most of the stuff is garbage. You want to get muscle, to gain size, to get lean. Food.
Just eat
Easy.
food.
Not
Yeah.
3 protein shakes a day, and then all of a sudden wake up in the middle of the night and get a protein bar. Like, you don't need that. Especially just starting out. No fucking way you need that.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how people, like, they don't get the results they want because they look at the top, 1% of 1%. They go, well, they do this, so I have to mimic that. Then they go, I feel like complete garbage.
Like fad diets and stuff like that.
Oh my god.
But, like, going kind of, like, back to, before we get on to supplements, like, going back to, like, programming, like, you don't see Instagram coaches that are like, DM me for strongman
Yes.
programming. Like, so what is that battle even like for you? Like, how do you program that?
Yeah, I've seen
Like,
like
is there a method you follow, or is it like, this gym's training logs this day, so I'll go do logs at that gym, and it's like, I guess I'll go do carries the
Kinda.
next day at a different
It's
gym? Like,
yeah, it's really like tricky because the training that I've done is we go in either Saturday or Friday, whichever day, and we go in and then we'll just kind of run events and stuff like that.
Right.
So we'll do log, we'll do axle, clean
which is
press.
training for strongman,
Mhm.
right? But like, there's no like one like you could write a method for strongman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really hard to do because it's like me personally, I just do basically just a powerlifting program as
Right.
my actual training
Right.
because to be honest, the strongman movements are very, very risky, and the risk to
Definitely.
reward ratio, it sucks because Atlas stones, you're at a high risk of tearing a bicep. Tire flips, tearing a bicep.
Or calf.
Shoulder press or like doing the log press, tearing a bicep, or because
Rotator
you're
cuff.
in that
Minor.
you're in that weird movement,
Tricep.
and
yeah.
you could fall on top of you.
yeah,
so
you could knock yourself out. I've seen guys blow their
Yeah.
elbows out, man.
Mhm.
And I mean,
Who was it? Was it Eddie Hall? It was
yeah, dude,
Eddie Hall.
Eddie got it up, and he lost balance, and he let go of it thinking it was going forward, and he leaned forward with it, and it
Yeah.
It hit him
And
right
knocked
here,
him
and
out.
he slammed himself against
Slingshot
the
him
wall.
back.
It was
Yeah.
a world record log press too. I think
Yep.
it was like almost 500 pounds or something like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, with programming for strongman, it's really tricky to kind of like do that because
Well, there's your $1 million idea.
There you go.
Yeah.
Strongman programs.
You found like the foundational strongman program.
Yeah, because I mean, I've seen like a couple top end guys who are like strongman programming. I haven't really looked into it, but it's like I think you can't do events like spaced out during
No.
the week.
no.
There's no way your body can heal that quick,
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
especially because a lot of the movements
Yeah.
are the same, and it's like attacking like your biceps a lot or your back.
That's
Without
why.
directly training them.
That's
Yeah.
why I hardly I'll do 2 event days, like 2 days a month,
Mhm.
every month, and because I just get my hips get really hammered from doing Atlas stones and stuff like that. So I've kind of dialed it back and like, okay, how can I get the most bang for my buck with this? So that's why I think personally, more of a conjugate system is really beneficial for strongman because of all the stuff that you're having to incorporate in it.
Hey, yeah,
And
conjugate's not for raw lifters.
okay,
I think Burley Hawk would disagree. Anyone that powerlifts is going to get
the
that
raw
wrong.
conjugate.
Yeah, conjugate for the raw lifter.
Dude, yeah, that's how my numbers got. Like
Mhm.
straight up conjugate.
But so you'll only train like events twice a month, like not even an event a week. Like
No, I will, but like an actual event day where I'm running, like
running like a series of events,
So-
like you get.
so
like
like if
would be at
I'm
a meet.
so like I'll do so
Okay,
like
that's what you're saying,
yesterday.
okay.
Like yesterday, I did axle clean and press
Uh-huh.
for for 10 sets of heavy singles, and then I did farmer's holds because I didn't want to do farmer's carries because I already had to do sled, so I just did farmer's holds to work on grip.
Yeah.
And then I did what else? I did some more shoulder work, and then
I saw you do pin presses,
Mhm.
well, military pin presses. I
Yeah.
saw you pull the sled and drag the sled.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's a.
So pretty much just doing that kind of thing, or like give it a couple more weeks and I'll run like an overhead medley where I'll do log and axle, and then I'll probably throw in deadlifts that day,
right.
or I'll throw in like an Atlas Stone simulator where I'll put I'll take off the end sleeve of the barbell and then just load bumper plates on that, and there you have
Right.
a makeshift
All right.
Atlas Stone or just stone loading.
Right.
Or like I've seen you come in and rig up your own Viking press and do that. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's just so much different variations, and I mean, I like doing strongman for like fun.
Yeah.
Like I do it maybe like once every couple months.
Yeah.
Just to go mess around.
Because
It's super
it's a
fun.
nice change of pace.
Yeah, it's not you're doing like just static movements, you know.
Mhm.
You're lifting stones. You're doing carries. You're doing you're actually like moving.
Mm-hmm.
And
There's
yet-
a lot of fitness level in that.
It is like strongman is. I look at it. I look at it. Strongman is CrossFit for fat guys.
Legit.
No shit, dude.
Like it's
Legit.
legitimately is. So the movements that you're doing, everything that you're doing, you're not just focusing where like powerlifting is. Okay, squat, you're isolating your squat. Bench, you're isolating bench. Deadlift, you're isolating deadlift. No, fucking Viking press is hip explosion. It's
It's
upper back, lower back.
Yeah, you got.
Locking out shoulders, bench press halfway through it, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. Like, and the carrying medleys that they do.
Oh god.
Man,
Those are. I
They-
kick ass at
Just
those are so
watching
fucking fun.
those 400+ pound men grabbing like 250 up to like 300 pounds, and they're sprinting basically
Mhm.
with them. Then
Yeah.
they sprint back, and you're like,
Yeah, you need cardio
Like,
and lots and
holy
lots of
shit.
conditioning. Like if you don't think that you don't need cardio or any sort of conditioning for strongman, like
For strength sports in general.
For
though.
strength sports in general.
yeah,
I
like you're an idiot if you think that you don't need
You
conditioning.
really are.
You
You really are.
need.
I helped you carry one of those 100-pound plates across the gym, and I legit was like,
Yeah, it's
I was like, fuck.
you try to like push it, it falls on its side. You're like, damn it!
falls
I'm all
over.
trying to roll it like a bowling ball. I'm like,
You're like Zach, catch it.
it's all.
What?
whack.
Yeah, no,
I'm
no,
like, fuck.
no,
It
dude,
falls.
it falls face down. So you have to like push it up against something heavy and get your fingers underneath it and go, all right.
Whips.
Yeah, just grab the lips, man.
So, but I mean, like, I think there's a conversation there as well, and I won't tear too much into it, just for the sake of time. But like conditioning and strength sports, I think that's definitely something that, like, I think that's another. There's probably some injury prevention there. I think that there's probably like a little bit of benefit there, like being fit enough to do these sports. Like, because you're strong enough to do it doesn't mean you necessarily should.
Yeah.
If that kind of makes sense.
Well, I mean, the more you get tired, the more you're going to just rely on your raw strength instead of your technique.
Right.
And so if you can kind of match that up and be like, all right, I need to work on either high reps, I need to go run hills or whatever, or just even like riding the bike or walking on the
Yeah.
damn treadmill, just to get your heart rate
Something, yeah.
going, just to keep
You guys are more than welcome to join me for hill sprints.
How about no?
I didn't know.
I like
There's his sprint right there.
That's the
That's
fastest you
about
ever
as
seen.
far
me
as you're
move.
gonna see.
Oh, God.
You want to see me do it again?
All right, so we've got multiple different ways that you can start working out for the most part. All in all, figure out exactly what you want to do, why you're working out. If you're working out to get stronger, then there's ways, there's steps,
there we go.
There are steps.
There it is.
There's steps to get there. There's a process to get there. Just find what works for you, more or less. Get your, your high reps in to build the muscle. Then get your, your low reps at heavy to tear the muscle and strengthen it. And then, make sure you have your recovery in there. All in all,
Oh, good tears though, like
Good tears.
micro tears.
Micro-
Not like
no,
BL tears at me.
micro
like,
tears.
Yeah,
not that
no,
I would know.
Just to clarify that up, don't just go in there and try to tear your bicep off the
No,
tendon.
like, oh shit, why is my bicep all the way up on my shoulder?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's because it disconnected from your elbow, fucker.
Yeah.
Stop trying to curl 2 plates.
I've never intentionally tried to tear a muscle. That shit just happened on its own. I'm like, my back is fucked. That's enough of that.
So, biggest fad in coming to the gym or starting out in the gym is always going to be mainstream. It's going to be what you see everyone else doing. It's supplements. Bullshit supplements. Fillers, phonies, fakes. He's doing it, so I should do it. No, it's not a fact. So supplements,
It's like the stuff you take. A placebo. It's
A
a placebo.
placebo.
You
Oh.
think
A
you're
placebo.
getting something out of it, and it's like, this is actually just a sugar pill. Or, like,
It's rice flour in a vegan capsule. And
Yeah.
they printed a label on it and sell it for $80 a bottle.
yeah. And you're like, and they're like, this works. It makes me feel good. I'm like, have you read the ingredients on it? They're like, ingredients?
They're like, is that Spanish?
They're like, you read labels?
French?
most of this stuff is it's fillers or it's just it's regular shit that you can get from food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
legit. Like,
Fuck, if you want protein, goddamn it, you can get protein from vegetables. You can get
You get
protein
pro-
from meat. You
Yeah.
can get protein from
Yeah.
fucking
Well, now I'm kind of curious. Let's do a what do you take list. Like, let's go down the line here.
and see what everyone
Yeah,
What do you
like
take?
what supplements do you take? Whatever
In terms
you
of
feel
what?
like.
What supplements do you take?
Be honest. or
Just
don't.
health supplements,
It's up to you.
mostly. I
don't have sponsorships.
I don't know. I got a list of
Yeah,
them.
it's up to you.
Not
don't
bullshit like
fucking
oh,
shit.
I take this and I get big. No, I don't take those kind
No,
of
but what
shit.
actually what do you take then?
So I usually take like
pre-workout.
pre-workout,
I think everybody.
like rarely protein shakes. I rarely take
Yeah, I haven't
protein
bought
powders
protein
because
in
that
years,
fucks me
right?
up
Yeah.
so bad. And the only time I ever take them is if I'm just trying to get protein
there,
there.
so it's
And I
just
can't get it in because I didn't make this food or I didn't eat that day, so I just take protein shakes and stuff like that. But usually I'll be doing just stuff to help with just overall health and whatnot. And
So like vitamins.
Your
minerals.
vitamins,
Like you got
So,
your
like,
fish oils. And you got,
fish oils,
The
magnesium.
two things they say men should take is D3 and fish oil.
Yes, vitamin D, fish oils, magnesium, probiotics.
Magnesium and zinc will help you sleep, dumbass.
Oh,
I
yeah.
tell you what.
100%.
Olive leaf
If you sleep
extract,
like shit,
Yeah.
milk thistle seed to help with liver,
Yeah.
and I think that's about it as far as like overall health and stuff like that. And being a bigger guy, I feel really healthy and feel really good. And I can walk around comfortably at 300 pounds and whatnot. But yeah, pre-workout. Occasionally, like I'll take a carb, powder just to
I do
kind
that
of
too.
get a little bit of just
get a
kind
little
of
bit more on
replenish.
your workout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'll just do it like I'll do a carb shake or a little carb drink in the middle of my workout, sip on that for the rest of it, and then I'll throw in like a BCA just because it's a sugary little drink.
It kind of changes the, like you're like I need something more than water.
Yeah.
A little bit like
A little
that.
bit of sodium in there, maybe some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sodium. Man, I get low on sodium quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad with it. I only do pre-workout. Like that's literally. I pre-workout. I have my
Vitamins,
fish oil.
minerals, like.
I have my fish oil. I've got my vitamins. And then I just have my pre-workout. Like I stopped doing protein when I stopped playing football because I didn't have to hold or maintain the weight while trying to
Right.
do cardio at the same time.
Yeah, no shit. Like
So that honestly that was the hardest part for me because if I don't work out, I shrink. Like when most people it's the complete opposite. If you don't work out, you blow up.
they either blow up or they kind of stay the same,
Yeah,
but they lose weight because they're losing muscle.
yeah. I shrink. So there was a point in time where I was heavy in the gym. This was my third year in semi-pro. 3 years in semi-pro. You know what I'm saying? I was going through some shit. Had to stop going to the gym. Had to pick up an extra job, so I was ended up working 2 jobs. I worked from 8:30 in the morning to about 11:45 at night, so I had absolutely no time for the gym. I literally, bullshit you not, went from 215 to 170 pounds.
Yep.
What happened to this guy basically?
Yeah, I went to throw freight for Coca-Cola, and when I started that job, I weighed 250. And when I left that job less than a year later, I weighed 200.
Yeah, see, I dropped. So I look sick.
And it was not a good 200.
No,
No.
he looked sickly.
I looked bad, really
Yeah.
bad.
But yeah, that was it. Outside of protein, then, like I took protein then. I did a pre-workout, and that was pretty much it. Of course, my vitamins. That's probably the only thing that I've really stuck to consistently, is my vitamins. Whether it be a multivitamin, and I gotta get away from the one-a-days, like the one-a-day active and all that shit, because
Yeah.
most of that's filler. I need to go and actually buy each individual vitamin and then just have that.
You seen the
just-
cabinet above my sink?
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, like everything.
Yeah,
like,
like he's
Straight-
got.
yeah, he's
So,
got all this different-
of course, you know the last couple videos have been at Josh's house. Josh has a variety of vitamins, minerals, supplements, as far as just overall health supplements.
all things that I've been deficient on because of blood work. That I know I've been deficient on because of blood work. Nothing is guesswork. Nothing is like, I guess I'll buy this because everyone else is taking it. It's like I've gone to the doctor, I've gotten my labs done, and they've been like, hey, you're low on this.
Yeah.
Go out and buy it. Like,
Yeah.
takes the guesswork out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've gone to the doctor a couple times, got my blood work done. Same as Josh. It's not like, well,
I guess I'll take a multi.
I'll take a men's multivitamin pack or
Flintstones
whatever.
gummies.
They give that to you. They're like, oh,
Always
it's for
gummies.
everything.
Flintstone.
No, it's not for everything.
No, dude, you take the guessing out of everything.
Yeah.
For football, we got chocolate milk after.
Fuck yeah.
That's all we didn't even
Oh.
do protein.
Get
We
me
got
started
chocolate
on the
milk.
chocolate milk, man. I'll tell you all about chocolate milk.
Yo, chocolate milk is everything.
For
Awesome
life.
recovery.
Fair
Yeah,
life, baby.
legit.
Awesome recovery. Chocolate milk. If you're broke and you're sore after a workout
Yeah,
and you
go
have
buy a half
absolutely
gallon,
nothing left,
Drink half of
get
it.
you a goddamn half a gallon of chocolate milk. I swear by it. I swear
Has
by
the
it.
right amount of carbs and
Do
protein.
you guys ever have like a meal after, so like walkthroughs and stuff like that, like a day before the
Yep.
like, the night before a game, and they would like give you like food or something like that, or
Mhm.
they give you a meal. Oh, rice and meatballs. Oh
Nope.
my
Ours
god.
was
dude.
pasta.
Dude,
Ours
straight
was-
up, like, I get home, usually, like in high school, every Thursday night, my mom would just make this pot. I'm telling you, dude, it was like this. It was just straight spaghetti.
Oh
Yeah.
And she's like, you want any sauce with that? I'm like, butter and salt. That's all
Butter
I
and
want.
garlic.
You just spray it on the dude. I probably had about like 3 or 4 bowls of that. Man, I was so carved up. It wasn't even funny, man.
man. So, what supplements you got?
Me? I take pre every once in a while. I used to be on a real big BCAA kick, you know? And then I realized if I just get pre-workout with carbs in it, you don't really need that.
Not necessarily. Yeah, like you don't really need to.
Like
buy
it's
it
kind of just like
every once in a while.
every once in a while type.
Yeah.
It's like I miss BCAs. I miss the extra, like you were saying, like fruity or something taste
something
that
to
it
sip
brings.
on.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like you guys have like not been able to verbalize what it is, like nailing it down for me, because it's hot outside.
I have to
Like
drink
I
water.
I need something that like it serves purpose. There's like sodium, there's thiamine, like whatever the essential amino acids are in that. But I'm burning way more of that now because of how hot it is. Our gym doesn't really have air conditioning.
Yeah.
So for me,
God, giant ass
it's
fan.
like I don't know why, like, but in the wintertime I don't crave that stuff. Like I can drink just water and a sodium tablet and be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
he
in the
brings that.
summertime, it's like, oh, I gotta fill up my tumbler with ice and these cold ass aminos, and it's like, it hits the spot. Like when you're working out, like that's what it is for me.
Yeah, I mean, I could live off of water though.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
you got those certain
That's
water.
empty already.
The water?
Yeah.
I just filled this up before you guys got here.
Dude, I've been chugging water all day, every day, working in a 110 box of making steel. You get, you know,
Like in the summertime, I'll buy amino acids, but that's pretty much it. Always D3, always fish oil. I only took pre-workout twice this week. I don't take pre-workout that much because I already have sleep apnea, so like I don't sleep anyway. And like on top of that, I've just like been an insomniac most of my life. So like just for me, like I get off work at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I get home by 6, but to the gym by 7. Like for me to take pre-workout, for me to take pre-workout at 7 o'clock at night, like I know I'm not going to bed.
yeah, he won't go to. If you take pre-workout, like anywhere in the span of like 5 hours before you go to bed, you ain't going to bed.
I'm not gonna sleep. Yeah.
I sleep just fine.
That's so.
Oh, I'm a buzz.
We both did it.
My fucking caffeine tolerance is through the goddamn roof.
Yeah.
If I don't want to sleep, I'll just take 4 and have my heart fucking just. God.
Yeah, no shit.
Take like 4 bangs on top of it.
Oh, dude. Don't even get me fucking started on this.
So yeah, I mean, like, besides performance enhancers, it's basically just like all the regular stuff, but like I just don't take it as often. Like I'm to the point now, like where like I kind of know my body well enough to know like what I need. Like I just start to feel a certain way, and I'm like, why am I so goddamn tired?
Because you need food.
And I'm like, oh, because my adrenal glands are worn out because I've been abusing caffeine and I'm dehydrated. So I won't take pre-workout for a couple of weeks, and I'll get rehydrated again. I'll take potassium and iron and calcium and like, so like
I gotta-
all of that kind of
I
stuff,
gotta
you
get
know,
back
like
up my potassium.
yeah, you need that in your life. But and so like, as far as supplements go, yeah, like everyone's like out here pledging allegiance through a digital blowjob to like a supplement company, like with your hashtags and tagging people and shit. Like, when in reality, like almost every supplement company 5 or 6 years ago went through a lawsuit because
Yep.
what they're saying is in the stuff is not what's in the stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not
Like when I was
FDA
sponsored by GNC, like you'd be shocked at like the things that like that you get told, and like the things that like they're like, oh yeah, Redcon 1 got sued, oh, and Kai Green's brand got sued, oh, and like Muscle Farm got sued, like all these brands, like, and Muscle Tech's been sued like hundreds of times because they've been around
Fuck
forever.
yeah.
So like, but like people don't know that. It's not common knowledge, right? Like they go into GNC, they get sold, they buy something, but like when you Google that company name, they pay for ads. So, like the first 3 listings you see are for their website or that or their number 1 product. Well, like what happens if you click to page 2 on Google? Like, have you done that before? Like then
Yeah.
you see like the lawsuit because someone had a heart aneurysm, or you see like the lawsuit because like it's false. Like what they're saying is in there, it's not in there. Like, but
Well, I mean,
people don't want to do the homework. They're just lazy. They don't care.
with the heart aneurysm, you know, like just heart palpitations, whatever, to just like your heart starts going crazy. It's because people are taking
Way too much.
way too much.
Way
Oh,
too
yeah.
much.
Way too much. Like
The memes are funny to joke about, but in all seriousness, like
dude, if it says don't exceed more than like 3 scoops in like a 24-hour period for pre-workout,
don't take.
There's a reason.
don't fucking take that, because they're like, hey, like we did testing or something happened with the company that said, hey, this is the max limit you could take in a 24-hour period.
You shouldn't be taking 3 scoops anyway. If you're allowed to take 3, take 1. Like
Dude.
what? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Yeah. The only time that I'll abuse the Christ out of caffeine is at meat day.
Yeah,
And-
definitely.
But
My
that's
adrenal glands are like.
that's a total different subject to start
Yeah.
talking on, man.
I don't know. I didn't use pre-workout meat day. I don't think I did any of that.
Really?
I try to avoid pre-workout on meat day. If I'm feeling flat, I'll do a Monster.
Yeah.
But I know if I get too hyped, I'm gonna shit the bed. So like for me, like I need to just like, oh, if I'm feeling flat, eat a chocolate bar. If that doesn't work, like, oh, then I guess I'll drink a Monster.
Yeah,
You know, like
you look at my cooler during meat day, and you think, what did this fat kid go to Walmart with $100?
it would look like me, 10-year-old me, went to Walmart with $100. You know what I mean?
I mean, and then plus the bottle of whiskey that's in there.
Always.
For the after.
always.
For the after.
Always.
No, for deadlifts.
during, for nerves.
Yeah, man, you go out there, and man,
It surprises me the more people don't do that. Like we went to FitCon this year, and I had a bottle of whiskey in my cooler, and then I tore my VL, and everyone was taking shots. Like
yeah, I was
you're supposed to save it for your nerves, right? Like if you get the nerves, like you take a pull, cork the bottle, and then you're like, all right, let's do this. And then by the end of the day, you're fucking sloshed, but you don't have nerves, so you can get under it.
Yeah,
You know
take
what I
a
mean?
couple pulls off of that, man.
Yeah, whiskey and deadlifts,
Whiskey,
man.
you have done whiskey deadlifts? No.
Yes.
Oh, it's time.
It's a good
We're
time.
gonna have to do
It
that.
is a
Someone's
great
gonna
time.
have to DD our asses, but
Hey,